Welcome to the Kansas Department of Agriculture Laboratory. The lab relocated from Topeka to Manhattan in March 2020 and moved into this brand new facility that was designed to help us better serve the public and Kansas agriculture, which is the largest industry in our state. The director of the lab, Sally Flowers, will host you on this virtual tour.
Thanks for joining our tour. The Kda Laboratory performs microbiological, chemical, and metrological testing to protect public health and safety, safeguard animal health, and protect consumers from economic fraud. Our test results are used by Kda regulatory programs in the Division of Agribusiness Services. We have a team of chemists, microbiologists, and metrologists with a broad range of testing skills and experience. We all work together to ensure that our test results meet internationally recognized quality standards. We are accredited for more than 50 chemistry and microbiology tests, so our stakeholders can confidently use our data to make important regulatory or business decisions. The new lab is strategically located steps away from Kda headquarters and Kansas State University. The modern infrastructure of the new building allows us to offer the latest technology in laboratory analytics, plus room to grow for future agricultural testing needs. The Kda Metrology Laboratory provides calibration services to customers in Kansas and across the region. The lab is authorized by the state to calibrate measuring devices for public and private entities that do business in Kansas. There are only a few state metrology laboratories that can perform the range of mass and volume calibrations that our metrology lab can. We calibrate weights from those large enough to require an overhead crane down to those used for pharmaceutical measurements. The metrology lab also provides calibration services to ensure accurate inspection of fuel pumps and scales. Our customers include railroads, grain elevators, pharmaceutical companies, and food and feed manufacturing. Metrology, the science of measurement, is very important to all sectors of our economy and our daily lives. The Kda Microbiology Lab has two testing areas, a dairy lab and biosafety level 2 lab. We test dairy, meat, and other human foods to ensure safety and wholesomeness using a range of microbiology methods. The dairy testing area is very important for the Kansas dairy industry. Along with typical bacteriological analyses, our microbiologists perform somatic cell counts on milk samples and also test for an enzyme that indicates proper pasteurization. We run regular chemical and microbiological analyses on meat products, and we examine food samples as part of investigations regarding foodborne disease complaints. Our microbiology lab work helps to verify that food processing and manufacturing processes are effective at preventing foodborne disease. The Kda Feed and Fertilizer Laboratory tests samples for the dairy and feed and the pesticide and fertilizer programs, providing test results in a timely manner to safeguard animal and plant health. We routinely examine animal feeds for drugs and antibiotics, including medicated feeds, to ensure they contain a level of medication that matches the product label. We also test for cross-contamination by feed additives or medications. We test livestock and pet foods for threats like aflatoxin, which can be life-threatening if consumed by animals. This lab also conducts testing to verify labeling claims of feed and fertilizer products, like testing for nitrogen, potash, phosphorus, and sulfur. The Feed and Fertilizer Lab is critical to protecting animal and plant health, as well as providing economic protection for consumers. The pesticide section of the Kda Lab supports the Kda pesticide program in its mission to fulfill the Federal Insecticide, Fungicide, and Rodenticide Act, which regulates the manufacture and sale of pesticide products. The majority of our pesticide testing occurs during the growing season because of the seasonal usage of pesticide products. The lab receives a wide variety of samples that are related to cases of pesticide drift complaints. These samples could be environmental swabs, soil, vegetation, water, or clothing. The lab also receives pesticide products from manufacturers or retailers. When we receive these samples, we analyze the contents of the container and then compare the results to the product label. Testing in this lab protects plant health, reduces environmental threats, and ensures product reliability for consumers. The Kda Industrial Hemp Laboratory analyzes hemp samples to ensure compliance with the legal definition of industrial hemp. The lab is busiest in the fall, but receives samples throughout the year. The lab tests the hemp samples to determine whether they contain less than or equal to 0.3% THC, using a method that measures both THC and its acid form. We use a drying oven to remove moisture, then the samples are ground so we have a homogeneous specimen. Solvent is added to the ground material followed by sonication. After we have analyzed a hemp sample, we calculate total THC and then convert it to a dry weight basis. The industrial hemp section of the Ag Lab has adapted as hemp cultivation has grown in Kansas over the last few years. We are poised to be a partner in teaching, research, and outreach initiatives.